Mani Ratnam is not just one of the greatest Tamil cinema directors of all time, but he's also, in my personal opinion, one of the greatest world cinema directors as well. He's a very astute and very keen director in terms of what he wants in visuals, storytelling, editing, production design, and so on and so forth. But also, a very key thing and a very important thing for any director is to have a very great eye in terms of talent. And also, Mani Ratnam has introduced a lot of people into the industry, not just for Tamil cinema, but also for Indian cinema. Here's a list of some of the incredible talent that Mani Ratnam has found over the years in terms of introducing them into Tamil cinema or Indian cinema, or introducing them in a different light from their previous occupation that they did within cinema. Alright, before I even continue on with this video, I gotta talk about Mani Ratnam's greatest find in his entire career, and that is obviously A.R. Rahman for the film Roja. For me, and for a lot of people, there is before Roja and after Roja in terms of the impact and the revolutionary sound that A.R. Rahman brought to Tamil and also Indian cinema. And obviously, Mani Ratnam has found a lot of people, but nothing compares to the collaboration and the work that he's done with A.R. Rahman. And the fact that he helped introduce him into the industry is a great thing that, cinema fans and world music fans will love till the end of time. Now, if I really wanted to talk about their collaborations with each other, it will take multiple videos. I'll definitely do a series on their collaborations in the future. But yeah, for now, obviously the greatest find in Mani Ratnam's whole entire career is definitely A.R. Rahman for Roja. Nayagan is one of the greatest films in cinema history, and it helped introduce us to one of the greatest character actors / supporting actresses in Tamil cinema history, Saranya Ponvanan. She was the lead actress in this film alongside Kamal Haasan, and Mani Ratnam helped introduce her into the industry and helped introduce us to one of the greatest talents in recent times in Tamil cinema. Crazy to think about it, but she's come a long way since her debut role in this film. Amrish Puri is one of the greatest character actors in Indian cinema history, and he's only done 2 Tamil cinema movies, but he made his debut in Tamil cinema through the film Thalapathy. So Mani Ratnam helped introduce Tamil cinema audiences to the great talent that was Amrish Puri. And through the same film, Mani Ratnam helped introduce one of his greatest collaborators of all time, and that is Aravind Swamy. Including this film, both of them have worked together on 9 different productions, which is pretty insane. And the fact that Aravind Swamy debuted through this movie and held his ground against the likes of Rajinikanth, Nagesh, and also Mammootty is outstanding. And great foresight by Mani Ratnam to, highlight and figure out that this person was going to become such a big-time actor, and not just in Tamil cinema, but also in Indian cinema. It wasn't just A.R. Rahman that was introduced through the film Roja, but also singer Hariharan, one of the greatest singers in Tamil and also Indian cinema history. Now, before doing this film, he actually done a lot of Bollywood films, so this was technically his first ever Tamil cinema movie. But yeah, one of the greatest songs in his whole entire discography, and also one of the greatest songs in Indian cinema history as well, was sung by Hariharan in this movie. And yeah, the rest is history. One of the greatest voices that we've ever heard in Tamil cinema was helped introduced by Mani Ratnam and A.R. Rahman through this film. Yup, you're seeing that right. Aishwarya Rai, one of the greatest actresses in Bollywood and also world cinema history, was introduced to the world through Mani Ratnam's film Iruvar. After winning Miss World 1994, she had a lot of film offers, but only accepted one in terms of being introduced into the world of cinema, and that was Mani Ratnam's offer to be in the lead role alongside Mohanlal in the movie Iruvar. If you've never seen this movie before, please do, because it's one of the greatest movies of all time in my personal opinion. But yeah, a really great performance by her too. And again, like Aravind Swamy, having to deal with the fact that she's acting alongside a legendary actor like Mohanlal is a real big thing to deal with. And she did a great job in her debut role. And obviously, great foresight by Mani Ratnam to highlight the fact that she was going to become this great force of nature, not just in Bollywood, but also world cinema. But yeah, it's insane to think about it, but she made her debut into the world of cinema through this film. Crazy. Technically not a Tamil cinema movie, but he introduced Indian cinema to one of the greatest talents that they've ever seen. Bollywood actress Preeti Zinta made her debut through the film Dil Se. Now, I really love this movie. I've seen it in the Tamil dub when it came out as Uyire, And love this movie. Really beautifully shot. One of the greatest visual films of all time, in my personal opinion. And I love her role in this movie too. And she ended up becoming one of the greatest actresses that Bollywood has ever seen. And yeah, again, great foresight by Mani Ratnam to highlight the fact that she was going to become this force of nature in that industry. Just like how Leo Mania was created by Titanic, Madhavan Mania was created by Ale Paide, and again, great foresight by Mani Ratnam to introduce Madhavan in this kind of way. And he became one of the greatest romantic heroes of the 2000s and of all-time history in Tamil cinema history. But also, Madhavan became a great supporting and character actor as well, and in my opinion, one of my favorite actors in Tamil cinema. Now, obviously, this is not his debut feature film technically, but this is his debut Tamil cinema industry film. And in my personal opinion, I would say this is proper debut film. But yeah, crazy foresight by Mani Ratnam to introduce Madhavan through this role and through this film. And also supporting actor slash stand-up comedian Karthik Kumar got introduced through the film as well. Through the film Kennathil Muthamittal, Mani Ratnam helped introduce a lot of different people, including P.S. Kirtana. Now, unfortunately, she's never done another role after this movie, but she's now become an assistant director to Mani Ratnam himself. But yeah, what a great debut by her in this movie, and again, great foresight by Mani Ratnam to highlight her talents as an actress. But yeah, she's decided to become an assistant director, and I think she's going to debut very, very soon as a director. So I can't wait to see what's in store for her in the future in the film industry, because she has a lot of talent, and that was shown very vividly through this film, and in one of the greatest debut child actor star roles that I've ever seen. Having a small cameo in this film and also being an assistant director to Mani Ratnam in this movie, Siddharth made his entry into Tamil cinema through this film. And obviously, the rest is history. He made his proper acting debut through the film Boys the next year, but obviously he got his entry through this movie. Oru Devam Tandapuve is one of the greatest songs in A.R. Rahman and also Mani Ratnam's whole entire careers, and it was sung by a debut singer by the name of Chinmayi. She won all the awards that year, and the rest is history, as they say. Again, another great talent found through this film, and one of the greatest singers and voice artists that Tamil cinema has seen in recent decades. Just like Siddharth, Karthi made his debut into Tamil cinema with a small cameo and as an assistant director through the film Aitharithu. Now obviously his proper debut happened to be Parathiveeran, but technically his debut into Tamil cinema was through this movie. And again, the rest is history. Even though Isha Deol is technically half Tamil, she has only done one Tamil cinema movie, and that happens to be Aitharithu. Now, she debuted and pretty much left the industry after this movie, but again, Mani Ratnam helped introduce Tamil cinema audiences to the great talent that is Isha Deol. Obviously, Bharati Raja is one of the greatest Tamil cinema directors of all time, but as an actor, he was introduced by Mani Ratnam through this movie. So technically, Bharati Raja made his proper acting debut through this film as the villain in the film, and he was really, really good. And since then, he's become a very good and very prominent supporting actor in Tamil cinema. Even though I'm not a big fan of this movie in general, Kadal helped introduce 3 different people into Tamil cinema, and one of them happens to be the most sought after voices in Tamil cinema at the moment, and that is Sid Sriram. If you've never heard any of his songs in recent years, you're living under a damn rock. Sid Sriram is the most sought after voice in Tamil cinema, and he was introduced with great foresight by A.R. Rahman and Mani Ratnam through this movie. Adiye is one of the greatest debut songs I've ever heard from an artist in recent times, and yeah, the rest, as they say, is history. And also introduced through this film was Gautam Karthik and Tulasi Nair. Now, interestingly enough, both their parents, Karthik and Radha, were introduced into the industry through the film Aligal Oivadalai. So after all those years, the parents and their kids were introduced together in the same films. Pretty cool. Popular supporting actor in Bollywood and Hollywood, Ali Fazal will be making his debut into Tamil cinema with the upcoming film Thug Life. So even till now, Mani Ratnam is introducing great talents into Tamil cinema, and he's a very talented actor as well. But yeah, that is the list. I know I've forgotten some people, but let me know in the comments below if I've forgotten anyone in this long list of people that Mani Ratnam has introduced into the industry.